As home and auto insurance premiums and costs continue to rise, it might be tempting for you to look at your umbrella policy and say, maybe I should cancel that. Don't do that. And I've got 3 reasons why. That and more coming up. My name is Mike Bernard. I'm the host of the Wise Money Show. I'm also one of the certified financial planners right here at Korhorn Financial Group. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications, and smash that thumbs up button. Just in a couple casual conversations recently, I was talking to a friend of mine, and just casually it was brought up, and he said, "Oh yeah, my home and auto insurance has gone up 53% over the past couple of years," and sort of showed me the data. Not that I was asking or didn't believe. He was almost expressing it like, "Can you believe this happened to me?" It's happening to all of us, right? It's outrageous. But that was just organic, just sort of came up in conversation. Also had a client where we're just catching up on things since we met last time, and they just casually went into well, do I need this? Do I need this? Do I need this? With insurances and a couple other things in their finances, and we talked through it, and I knew where they were going, but it was just sort of this casual, not this. Well, I've got a problem. It was just this. Well, do I need this? And ultimately, like when we got to the end of that, it's like, well, everything is costing more, and I just want to make sure that we're not paying for something that we don't need, and you might be feeling that way as well, as you've looked specifically at home and auto insurance costs have been rising with inflation, but actually more than inflation because of the unique inflationary circumstances within insurance, home and auto insurance. I've shared a few videos recently because this is just on everyone's mind and a big financial planning issue right now, and that is, houses cost more to build and repair and maintain. Vehicles cost more to buy and to maintain and repair. And so in addition to normal inflationary issues that we're all dealing with, those protecting those and covering those have had their own issues like above and beyond. And so companies are going out of business, insurance companies. Insurance companies are saying, no longer do we want you as a customer, bye-bye. We're not even gonna offer new insurance. And yet us as consumers, we're looking at the increase in price, and I can see, I know, because I'm feeling it too. Where can I cut? Where can I cut? The umbrella policy specifically, not everyone has an umbrella policy. Way more people should have one than actually do. But that's why we say home and auto insurance, this is a financial planning decision, because you've got to take a look at your entire financial situation, the assets that you're building, your own financial house, if you will, not structural house, but your finances, and what's at stake. What's exposed. And if something happens to you, an umbrella policy is a affordable way for you to add extra liability coverage on top of your home liability and on top of your auto liability. So if there is a loss, a claim, and those limits of liability are exhausted, they've been used up, and the claim is higher than what those limits are, this umbrella policy steps in. So if you've got that policy, I'm sure in the past 12 months or even right now, you're looking and saying, do I really need this? You do. You do. You've got to work with your certified financial planner. Make sure that you do. And if you don't have an umbrella policy, you're listening to this, work with your CFP, see if you do need it. But here's 3 very clear and obvious reasons why, no, don't cancel it. You still need it. The first is everything's getting more expensive. I know, that's why I'm talking about canceling my umbrella. No. Everything's getting more expensive. Therefore, if you have a claim, the cost of that claim is likely to be significantly higher than it was just a few years ago before all this inflationary pressure, all this inflationary environment. If you cause an auto accident, the medical expenses to care for and treat the medical needs of the individuals in that other vehicle are going to be higher, significantly higher than they were a couple of years ago. And it's more likely that your underlying limits, that your liability coverage will get spent through. Same with the damage to the other person's property. Their vehicle likely costs more right now, either to replace or to repair, than it did a few years ago. And therefore, it's more likely that your underlying limits on your auto insurance or home insurance will get blown through if you have a claim, and that umbrella policy then is going to be more necessary, more valuable. Same thing with with their house. It's got liability protection as well. And if you cause an accident or cause a loss to someone's home, it's going to cost more to fix, because everything is more expensive, and therefore more likely that your underlying limit within your homeowner's insurance or auto insurance will be used up, and that umbrella policy then is that much more necessary. So that's the first reason. The second reason is because of these higher insurance costs and the higher costs all around at the grocery store and everywhere else, more and more people are making the decision to cut their insurance coverages to very low levels, saying, I just am going to bring my insurance to state minimums and just hope I don't get in an accident because I can't afford these higher limits. Or they're going to go without insurance completely. Well, I thought you needed insurance. I know. So they'll get it to buy the vehicle, and then they'll cut it. And they'll drive without insurance or not have that protection. More and more people, I don't have the stats, but it has absolutely surged, the number of people that have lowered their insurance coverages or are driving without insurance. Your umbrella policy, if you structure it right, and gosh, this is a pro tip, should cover un- and underinsured motorists, meaning if someone makes a claim, if someone causes an accident and you're the one that's injured, someone else caused it and you're the one that's injured, what happens? Well, it's that person that caused the accident. It's their insurance that's there to cover your expenses and your bills. And what if they don't have enough insurance? Well, then your un- and underinsured motorist coverage, that's what steps in. And your umbrella policy, if it has un- and underinsured motorists, will cover. I just heard a story of an individual whose daughter was a passenger in another person's vehicle, and they were sideswiped. And this is months after the fact, and she still is having residual medical issues, or headaches, constant headaches, and other issues. Well, it's the person who sideswiped them. It's their insurance that's having to pay for this, state minimum insurance. So then it goes to the other person's insurance, the other driver's insurance, on an underinsured motorist. Well, they had 100,000 coverage. So now it's going to hit an umbrella policy, and thank goodness there's one there. Otherwise, there wouldn't be enough coverage. So the second reason why you can't and shouldn't cancel your umbrella is because of the un- and underinsured motorist coverage that's needed and is in that umbrella policy if you've elected that coverage. And then the third reason why don't cancel your umbrella policy is likely your net worth has increased as well. And I know the temptation is to focus on, no, costs have increased, everything's more expensive. And guys, I get on that soapbox too. Everything's more expensive, drives me nuts. And I think about the root cause and want to point fingers and all that, but it doesn't help me. Even though everything costs more, likely your assets have also increased in value. So the house that you own, it's actually worth more. Vehicles that you own are probably more expensive, and hopefully you've been building assets and cash. Your investments hopefully have gone up in value as well. So your overall your net worth, if you will, or your financial house is more valuable today than it was even just a few years ago. And because an umbrella policy is there to protect your exposure and protect your assets that you've been working hard to build and all the progress you're making in your financial life, it's more important because there's more to protect. Also, it's there to help make sure your wages aren't garnished or whatnot if you don't have enough insurance and so on. And likely your wages have gone up over the past couple of years as well. All again, saying that or revealing that umbrella policy is protecting more than even what it did a few years ago. Therefore, again, it's more important and more necessary. So in response to surging inflation and rising prices within your home and auto insurance, instead of just looking for things to whack and looking for how to cut your or considering cutting your umbrella policy, work with your independent insurance agent and ensure that you're getting all the discounts, that there aren't adjustments you should make to your deductibles, that there's not a different insurance company that you should consider, or other things that you could be doing to help keep your rates manageable or from rising as much. So work with your independent insurance agent. They should be collaborating with and working with your CFP. So talk to your CFP, work with them about that. If you don't have a CFP on your team, you can contact one on my team. Find us online, Korhorn.com. That's Korhorn with K. WiseMoneyShow.com. You can find us there as well, or give us a call, 574-247-5898. All right, there you have it. Go out and take your next wise step in your financial life.